Hello, this is Karina. I am the host and the creator of this podcast, Stroke Surviving the Odds. Welcome, everybody. Just a quick recap. I had a brainstem dissection in March of 1999. So if you want to hear a little bit more and you didn't listen to episode 1, please do be my guest. And I also mentioned that I was going to be free-flowing, that I do not read or write or script anything. I talk to you like we're sitting in your living room having a coffee, and you just ask me, so how did you end up here? I'm in room M at the Montreal Neurological Hospital, and my work is about to begin. I have been drifting in and out of coma, a nice deep sleep, I would say, deep sleep, yeah. Like I've never had again, and sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I have wished over the years that I could have had the same sleep again, but wake up, you see what I mean? There was no suicidal thought down there. I love life way too much to have anything negative thought, but I just want to sleep sometimes. So I'm lying down, just relaxing. I'm guessing I'm relaxing. And these two nurses and 3 orderlies, I had 5 people to help me sit up in my bed. I was 25. I don't smoke ever. I did not drink. I learned how to drink over the years, but at that time I was not drinking at all. And I really was in the best shape that I even now say that was the best time of my life. But God had other plans. You know, sometimes our plan B is his plan A. He knew what he wanted to happen the whole time, and there was a lesson. And that lesson, you guys are going to hear it as we go along together. So I had these 5 people lifting me up and sitting me up, and they say you have to go to physio because all of a sudden it's like a balloon. You know when you deflate a balloon? It goes and it goes like all flask. That is how my abs were. For some reason, all the air inside of my body had deflated and I could no longer sit up. So I needed help, and they said, well, right away, she's fit. We're going to bring her to physio. At least show her how to sit up. It was the most painful thing thus far that I had experienced. Just to have to sit up for 30 seconds with my abdominals and nobody touching me, it was so difficult. But I did sit down, but you'll never guess how. I was lying flat on my back. And I had one of those cubes holding my knees up. So I was simply lying down. There you go. That session was extremely brief, like not even 15 minutes, but it got the show on the road. It got things moving and flowing. And what's coming next is the real work. Now, you remember I told you that I had been intubated. Therefore, I could not breathe on my own. I had a cork in my trach. I had a cork, so I could leave my room for a few minutes at this point. And that's basically how, after corking my... Do you guys want to know? Let's fast forward to right now, okay? Do you guys want to know what just happened? I'm still dizzy. I still go ram into the walls myself. I'm walking dizzy. There's a carpet on the floor. I trip over it. I can't have anything on the floor. I will trip over flowers that are designed into the carpet if I can. So there can't be nothing on the floor. And right now, I am in the basement bathroom, and this is where the walls have the best insonorization, the best sound. There's the best acoustic. Do you guys want to know what just happened? Let's fast forward to right now, okay? I still cannot have anything on the floor around me. If there is flowers designed inside of a carpet, I will trip on them. So it's not safe. But now I am in the basement, and there is a little rug next to me, and sure enough, I tripped on it and I rammed into the wall. Yes, this still happens very often, many times a day, and it will not change. So you better get used to it, because most likely it's not going to be changing anytime soon. Stroke, surviving the I know that I sounded a little bit abrupt there, and I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I think that from what I understand, when we have a stroke, our equilibrium is not fully functioning, and it takes a great deal. It either fixes itself or it doesn't. That's what my neurologist said. So if this is what I have to deal with, and this is one of the few side effects that I have of my stroke, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. But again, if I was being too abrupt, I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm not the most delicate flower in the garden, So wow, I gotta watch the way I talk. That's another thing, the stroke. A lot of good things come out of this. The stroke. Okay, I'm going to be very disgusting and verbal and very graphic on this. So those of you who don't like it, I apologize now. But it's like we have verbal diarrhea. After we had a stroke and we're getting back and we start talking, it just comes out. And our emotion, it's as if the brain and our emotions, one of them wants to go too fast. They don't connect well. And if that is hard for us, the subjects, I don't want to call us victims. I don't want to use that word with us. We are not victims. We are survivors, remember? So, yeah. But you know what? I forgot now. I was saying, if it's hard for us to deal with these inconveniences, imagine for others how it must be difficult. How it could be for our spouses and our family members, that you start laughing, profusely laughing, and you can't control it. It just happens. For me, that's what would happen. I would cry like crazy or laugh like crazy. That's the part of my brain that was damaged. And it would embarrass my husband. It would embarrass my stepfather. My mom would laugh. She'd join in the fun. But it was embarrassing. So sometimes, okay, again, forgive me, because I went from 5 orderlies helping me, 5 people helping me out of the bed, to now I'm telling you these things. There's just so much I want to share with you guys, because it has been this really growing freaking experience, and frustrating, and I cried a whole lot, but I cried because I wanted to cry, not because I was sick. And that was the first thing that I learned how to control. That's what kind of tough cookie I am. I controlled my tears way faster than my laughs, and I'm still laughing away right now, right? When I talk, and you can hear me smile or laugh, or you don't even need to hear me giggle. And I can hear myself too when I talk. And that's the part of me that I like, that I'm happy it's stuck around, and that's the way it is. Listen, I'm no pro. I'm no Joe Rogan, and I'll never be, and I don't want to be. I just want to be me. And I just wanted this story to be heard, as incoherent sometimes it is. It all works out at the end. It's all gonna blend in perfectly. But that's just the way things are in my brain, and that's how it comes out. But I know you guys can relate to me. You guys feel, and I feel you. As I go along, I know that I'm going to get better at my delivery. But I'm afraid that if I get better at my delivery, it will become a task, it will become a job, and I'm going to lose myself. But what I hope to do in the next few weeks is not gain more confidence, but I think gain more comfort and more sense of direction of how I want to speak and deliver my stories, because they are my stories, right? They are my memories. They belong to me, and nobody can ever take that. Nobody. They can take anything else, but they cannot take my memory. So nobody can take away what you have. I know that I make it sound sometimes like it's all rainbows and chocolates and everything. That is so not the case, guys. But we'll talk about that in due time, right? We'll talk about that in due time. I just want to say one last thing. That when I was in the hospital, and okay, I sat up lying down and all that, that's fantastic. I got plugged back on the machine, the oxygen machine, and I couldn't eat or drink, so they had to feed me Boost through an IV through my nose, which was blech, as you can imagine. The OT, the occupational therapist, would come and see me for my left hand because I am hemiplegic. My whole left side remained paralyzed at some level, and obviously on my right side, which I was a righty to begin with, regained strength, and now I'm like superwoman on the right, but I'm like nothing on the left. But that too is actually not bad. But there's one thing and one memory that breaks my heart, guys. That breaks my heart. My daughter was 16 months. And as the ambulance took me out of the apartment, my niece was in the living room with my daughter, and you see, I'm getting emotional now. And I could hear her say, "Mommy, Mommy." And then I just went. So that was the last sound of her. And when I was in the hospital and I did manage to sit up, and I was in my chair at the hospital, all I kept crying. Sorry about that. All I kept crying was Angie, and I would cry, and the nurses would feel bad, and the doctor would feel bad, and everybody would. All I wanted was my Angie. And I guess that in some way, shape, or form, God heard me, and He brought me back to my Angie. Okay, I regrouped now. I'm okay. I'm fine. But you see how the emotion gets still gets to me after, it's going to be 23 years there in a few weeks. And I still feel like I felt back then. I still feel it inside. And I've been blessed so much, and I'm so full of gratitude towards everybody that has put time and energy towards me. And I'm full of gratitude towards myself, because I worked freaking hard to be where I am, just like you are working freaking hard to be where you are. Just keep in mind that a lot of the things that were won't be anymore, and it's okay. It's okay. We'll talk about that in the next episode if it's okay with you guys. How I quickly realized in the hospital, in my ICU bed, I realized the faster I mourned the old Karina, the faster I mourned her and let her go, the faster I could move on and discover who the other Karina is going to be. That was my thought right from the get-go, like a few weeks after the whole thing happened. So, again, I am going to let you go. I am going to take a shower and have a coffee and regroup more. And I am so happy that someone out there is listening to me. And again, I am going to be linking my Facebook page for my podcast. And because I'm free flowing, I'm just doing as I go, right? You guys can give me comments of what I should or should not be doing. I told you I'm terrified of editing, but I know that I'm going to have to. I just don't want to do it right now. But if you guys tell me, Karina, you need to edit, I will learn it. And I will do it. So thank you so very much. And I shall be seeing you very soon. I love you. Bye.